I got to be able to go out there and be creative and flow. And that's where I find I have the advantage. I'm going to finish Glover with ground and pound. Get him down, just start raining down some shots on him. And he's going to get up a few times, but after a while, he's going to stay down one of those times, and he's not going to be able to get back up.
A far cry from populous South Florida, Danbury, Connecticut hasn't historically been home to many world-class fighters. Therefore, it should come as little surprise that since the day he moved here, Glover Teixeira has been elevated to the status of local hero.
Hey, what's up, man?
As the working-class town has embraced the Brazilian UFC light heavyweight as one of their own.
Because everybody know me, they see me every time, they see me all over the place. They just say, hey, Glover, what you doing? Don't win the fight, talk like a normal. I'm very, popular.
You ready for Rashad, huh?
Yeah, that's it, man,
Good.
Eat some meat.
Yeah. Everybody's rooting for you, man.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'm kind of like a Rocky, you used to watch Rocky 1, that he's like, he walk around the streets and like, hey, Rocky, what is it? It's like that. That's the vibe I get. I love it, Yeah,
Big fan.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Out of Danbury's 80,000 residents, improbably over 5% of the population is Brazilian, which means that despite being over 4,500 miles from the small village where he was born, Teixeira is still surrounded by lifelong friends.
My friends that I went to kindergarten, that I went to middle school with, they are all here. They all here now. It's a home away from home, everybody's here. Like, I really feel like happier, the camp is better. I'm looking forward to the future. Fight with Rashad is gonna be a good fight because we both excited fighters, I come down to put the show. I come down to looking to knock you out. He got knockout power. He's a good striker. He's a good wrestler. He was not the champion for no reason, but I just think I'm better all around. There's no way this fight is gonna last 3 rounds, and I think this fight, you should be watching this fight. It's the most exciting fight in the card, no doubt about it.
May 29th, 2 undefeated UFC warriors go head-to-head as 21-0 striker Thomas Almeida takes on fellow knockout artist Cody No Love Garbrandt. Plus, former bantamweight champion Renan Barão moves up to face Jeremy Stephens in a featherweight showdown. Live in Las Vegas this Memorial Day weekend. UFC Fight Night, Almeida versus Garbrandt from Mandalay Bay. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
All right, everybody. The attendance tonight was 11,273. The gate was 1,057,000. Fight of the night was Akhmedov versus Dos Santos, and the performance of the nights were Chiesa and Teixeira. Those guys all won $50,000, so congratulations. Who has the first question? Yep.
First question for Khabib. Khabib? Just wondering how you felt in there tonight. If you felt any sense of ring rust, 2 years away from the octagon, what was it like getting back in there?
I feel like last 2 years I sit down in the jail. I said this after fight. Now I'm free. Now I'm ready for the title, and I'm happy about my comeback. I'm very excited when I go to the cage. You know, I'm very happy now.
Dana, your thoughts on
He looks happy, doesn't he?
Your thoughts on his performance, and is he ready for that title shot after, or the winner of Alvarez RDA?
Of course.
See what happens.
Of
Too
course.
early to say. Next question for Rose. 3 years later, you fight Tisha again. What's different this time around? How did you feel in there, and what did you feel was the turning point in the fight?
Yeah, this was definitely like the toughest training camp of my life to this point. So I just really had to, there was so many crazy things that led up to this fight that, but everything just at the very end would just work itself out. So it just kept letting me know like to just have faith and just believe in myself. Even, you know, there were so many times I wanted to quit and, you know, not even try. So, you know, and Tisha's a really, really tough fighter, and it felt really good to get back in there with her and, you know, just give it my best. I know she was going to be really tough to finish. I thought, you know, there would be a possibility I could in a second, but, you know, I just had to keep pushing forward. She's very, you know, she was tougher. She definitely got better. She's evolved more than I had expected, and, you know, I gave all the props to her.
And then for Rashad, obviously things didn't go your way tonight. I mean, what do you take from a result like this? Where did things go wrong? What are your thoughts right now?
Well, you know, it's disappointing to say the least, but you know, I've been in the sport for a while, and you know, I've been at the top, and you know, I'm riding a real low right now, and it's just that when you're at this point right now, you just gotta, you know, reevaluate everything, but you know, I don't want to lose hope. I don't want to lose heart, and fighting, because it's what I like to do. But at the end of the day, you know, something's got to change. I got to do something better, and you know, it's embarrassing, it's sad, but welcome to being a fighter.
Rashad, do you feel like you really, you know, made a mistake that you can, you know, look to, and I know you haven't seen the fight obviously, but do you think you'll look back on this and say, well, I made an error here, or was it just one of those things where, you know, the guy's got power and you took a big shot, and that's the sport? Yeah,
I made a mistake. You know, one thing I shouldn't have done, I shouldn't have switched stances in a defensive position. You know, when you switch stances, it's usually to fire something off right away or give a look or something right away. And I switched stances against the fence and threw a punch that really was just a touch, but not to really land any damages. And I didn't come back defensively good enough, and I paid the price for it. You know, Teixeira hits hard, but I felt during the fight like I felt his power, like I felt like I could handle it. And you know, he threw some good shots, but you know, when he sat down on that left hook, you know, I didn't know the fight was over until, you know, Herb Dean was in my face.
And for Khabib, are you pretty committed to, right here, are you pretty committed to not fighting until the fall? You know, you mentioned September, October, November. I know that the summer is unavailable for you, but anything prior to the summer, or are you pretty set on the fall?
Hey guys, after 2 years, 6 months is nothing for me. But I want to say something. Tony's called me like 29 May, but I'm training for this camp. I beginning January, almost 100 days. I'm training very hard for my comeback because this is very important because I'm not shape. After 100 days, you see my performance, guys, and I know and I feel my body need rest. And June, beginning Ramadan, and I wanna rest a little bit and come back like September, October. But I think if you see one make very smart decision for New York, in New York living a couple million people who speak Russian. I'm famous in New York, I think, and I can fight in New York, and we'll see. We'll see. Now, I think I deserve a little bit rest. I come back. That's it.
And then for Mike, he doesn't want the Tony Ferguson fight. You said that you did, and just I would ask you, why Tony Ferguson? What is intriguing about that fight?
I'm just here to challenge myself. I'm always trying to fight guys that are ranked higher than me. I'm trying to test myself. I'm trying to become a champion. It's just a fight that makes sense. I think Khabib's going to go on to fight for the title, rightfully so. He has a win over the champion. That kind of leaves Tony Ferguson in limbo, and I'm willing to step up to bat and take that fight for sure. I think that's a great main event. But yeah, that's about it.
Question for Rashad over here, to your left. Just physically, how are you feeling after the fight?
Physically, I feel good. Was just a little rattled at first, but physically, I feel my body feels good, my knee feels good. I felt like I had a good bounce going early, but I felt like everything was on point. I have no excuses physically speaking. It just went. He just caught me with a good punch, but yeah, no excuses.
And when you say that maybe
it's hard to make a decision on what needs to change fresh after a embarrassing and disappointing loss. I sit here and I'm embarrassed. I'm disappointed, and it's sad. But you have to go on because this is what it's about. It's easy to fight and to go through it when you're always on top and you're doing everything well. But the hardest thing is working through the disappointment, working through, doubting yourself and everything else like that. And it's not easy, but, I think that given some time and me sitting back and me deciding on, where I feel good at and what's best for me, then I think I'll be able to make the right decisions on what needs to change. But as of right now, that's not a clear decision I can say.
Thank you. And a question for Rose. Hello. You're kind of in an interesting spot because I think a lot of people would agree after Claudia, you're the #1 contender, but they're fighting in 3 months.
Yeah.
What are you thinking at this point? That's a long ways away. Sometimes timing is key when it comes to these things. What are you thinking shortly after the fight?
Right now, I'm in no rush. I was kind of on a roll, and I think that initially I thought I would be, ready to jump right back in there. But, I think that a few months off will definitely do me some good, just mentally, alongside physically. I've got a few things here and there going into this fight, or just, but mentally, mostly, I just need to find the fun in life again. This last one kind of just turned into a bit of a job. Leading up to it, I was just able to go in there and let go and just have fun and fall on my butt and like laugh at myself, things like that. Because I was just I've been through so much for this fight that I'm just not gonna worry about it tomorrow. I'm just done crying. I'm done not sleeping at night. I'm just ready to do it and do my best and go home after that. So right now. Yeah, I do want a little bit of a break and enjoy the fight world as a fan just for a second. But yeah, I'll be I'll be all fired up and ready to get back in there and improve on my, just some of my things in my fight and things like that eventually. But right now, it's about having fun just for a little bit.
Thank you. Just a quick one for Glover. I know you sort of sent a message, and congratulations, by the way. I know you sent a message to Rumble after your fight. Are you confident that that is going to materialize, or, because it seemed like after the Bader win for him, he was the number one contender? Do you think he's going to, wait to fight for the belt?
Man, Rambo deserved the title shot, of course. He's in the line, and I don't know. It's up to him what he wants to do. I just mentioned the name over there because you see that soap opera that's going on with Cormier and Jones, and Cormier now is gonna fight the winner of Jones and Jones and OSP, and who knows when that fight's gonna happen. Anthony Johnson probably gonna stay all year doing nothing. So I was just like, give him a job, I don't know.
Thank you.
Mike, last night you were the Lightning social captain. Your boy Johnson scored 2 goals, and then tonight you do the same thing. A great performance here. What was the last 48 hours like for you here?
It's been surreal, man. I'm familiar with Tampa. I have family here. I've been here a few times. Going to the game, it almost felt like I was getting kind of an upper hand. I got to come to the arena. I got to feel it out. I got to go see a Spokane native put on a great show for the Tampa Bay Lightning, scoring 2 goals, watching him get a big playoff win, getting to be the social media captain. It was just like almost like the stars were aligning for me. And, I felt really comfortable coming in here, and it just, Spokane has spoken. People didn't know about our little city, but now they know now. Now you got a phenomenal hockey player. You got a badass group of fighters coming straight out of the same city. It's been a great 48 hours, man. I feel like I should be waking up any minute now and being like, dang, I got 12 pounds to cut. I've been dreaming this whole thing up the whole time.
Thanks. And Cub, after the first round, it seemed like you had a little bit of trouble getting off. What was the adjustment you made between rounds 1 and 2 to really kind of find your groove?
The whole game plan was the first round. They told me you need just to keep it simple, set the tone, establish the jab, find your distance, don't get too crazy. So they kind of, put some training wheels on me. And then second and third rounds, they're like, okay, let loose. And I think, that's why I landed some of the big shots, is because then I started being a little unorthodox. And I kind of shut down his game early. And, it worked out for me.
Thanks.
John, how quick of a turnaround would you like to see after such a fast fight tonight?
Tomorrow.
And
That's realistic.
Could we see it maybe against Dillashaw?
I don't know. Where's Dana? He left. I'll be more welcome to fight anybody that steps in front of me, including if it's TJ Dillashaw. Dillashaw's been sitting there saying that it's a fluke that first time that me and him fought, and then I knocked him out. I'm willing to show him that it wasn't a fluke, and I'll put him to sleep permanently.
For Michael? Michael, it seems that the majority of your fights have ended with some kind of choke. Is this something that you go into your fights like something that you have in the back of your mind that's kind of a go-to, or has it just been kind of what's happened throughout your fights?
The submission game hasn't died. I mean, there's strikers and there's submission artists. I mean, it's plain and simple. That's what the UFC was founded on. I just think that a lot of people just get so caught up in wanting to be phenomenal strikers, which is great. That's awesome. I enjoy watching it just as much as the next guy. But I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I am a submission fighter, and my top priority is to strangle you. So I'm never going to deviate from that game plan. There's always room. I have plenty of room for growth, as you can see in all my fights. There's always stuff I can improve on, but plan A, strangle.
So tonight's fight went the way that you had ideally wanted to go, with submission at the end?
Yeah, I mean, tonight's fight I really didn't have a set plan. I mean, Beneil, he's a very high-ranked black belt. I mean, everyone talks about his matches with Kron Gracie and all this stuff, and that's cool, but I mean,
we didn't see it tonight.
Tonight was just one of those things where I'm just going to fight, and if the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to take it. But I was ready to go wherever the fight unfolded. That's where I was willing to take it. But you give me that opening, I'm going to take it.
Thank you. And for Shad? You obviously have some time to take in, what's your fight tonight. Where's your mind at this point right now?
Honestly, just embarrassed. I trained really hard, and I was ready to fight. I was ready to fight. 5 rounds if need be. It didn't matter. And that's the hardest part is when you train, you put in the time, and you put your heart and soul into it, and you just come up short in an embarrassing way. And there's nothing you can do but I just gotta wear it. I gotta wear it. I gotta accept it. It just is what it is.
Thank you. And one last one just for Rose. You had a great showing tonight with Tisha, but of course she got the first one on you with your guys' first fight. Do you see maybe a rubber match in the future for you guys?
I could see that, as a possibility. She's very, like I said, she's a very tough competitor and, one of the best in the division. So, she's undefeated for a reason. Even, the couple losses she had on the Ultimate Fighter that technically didn't count, like she, barely loses. So, I knew it was going to be really tough to beat her. Yeah, I definitely I'm proud of my performance, just given everything that, all of my preparation and things like that. I feel like, there's definitely room for improvement, and I always want to finish people, but like I said, she's really tough. So I just got to, be okay with it and look over the fight again. There are spots where, I was a little bit reckless or I wasn't listening to everything that my coaches was telling me all the time. So I got a little carried away sometimes, and there was a lot of mistakes, but there was a lot of good in it, too. Just stick to the basics, I just was having a little too much fun out there sometimes and just, saying screw it. But yeah, just stick to the basics a little bit more. Yeah.
A question for Cub. You've talked in the past about actually walking away from the sport, some of the problems you had in camp. What would have happened tonight if you had lost? Would you have stepped away from the sport and retired? Is that what you were fighting for tonight?
Who knows? I had so many emotions going into this fight. I was sick all week, and after seeing so many people pull off the card, I just knew that wasn't a possibility. But I told my coaches the day before weigh-ins I didn't know if I could cut the weight because I was so down on energy. But I woke up feeling okay, and I got after it, and I did it. But the reason I was, just considering all that stuff was I had my second broken jaw. And it took a lot of heart for me to get back in here and do it again. Coming off a loss, we all know it's difficult, and when you've had tough injuries and have to come back from that is mentally one of the most draining things, and that's why I kept getting so emotional tonight.
How much weight did you have to cut?
I actually didn't have to cut that much after all. I've been literally dieting since November. I didn't even have a fight. My birthday was the early November. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to diet. I wanted to get in shape, and I wanted to try to be the best me that I could be. And barely fighting here in April, so it worked out for me.
And then for Glover, you mentioned before at the workouts, you talked about Anthony. You mentioned him as something that you were interested in, but you wanted to fight Rashad first. So is it the plan all along to call out Anthony afterwards, or is that just something that happened in the moment?
No. First of all, I wasn't looking past Rashad. Rashad is a tough opponent. By the way, Rashad is nothing to feel embarrassed about, man. You are incredible warrior. You a champion for a reason, and keep your head up, and I know you come back from this. I know I had a tough guys in front of me, and when I got called to fight Rashad, I was happy. I was happy because I got a job, and this is my job. And like I say, man, I'm a fighter, man. I'm a worker. I want to fight. It's all about business. It's all about keep myself busy and eventually fight for the title. I don't care who. I don't care where. I just want to fight.
you have any sort of timeline as for when you'd like that to happen?
Somewhat.
Do you have any sort of timeline for when you'd like to fight Anthony, ideally?
No, I'll fight him anytime. I know he have an injury right now. I mean, I'll fight anyone anytime, man. No problem. Hey, it's a good fight.
Question for Raquel over here. This is the first time, I don't know if you even pay attention to these things, and that's why I'm asking the question. First time in a very long time that you're 2 wins above 500. You went 3-3, and then you were 4-4 and 5-5. Now you're 7-5. Does it feel like you have some breathing room? Do you even pay attention to that sort of thing?
For a while I didn't pay attention to it just because when I went pro, I feel like a lot changed in my career. I kind of lost the passion for it, and it just became a job. Like Rose was saying, I mean, it's really important to have the passion in the sport. And now when I went 6-6, in my head I seen it as 0-0, and so this is a fresh run for me. I have a great coaching staff behind me, a great team, and this is just the beginning.
And also, when you spoke to the media before, you said, which was interesting to hear, that you have stage fright, and it's not something that you often hear. I'm sorry if I'm putting you on blast here,
You're
but
good.
I just think it's a very honest thing to say. Is that something that you think you'll have to deal with for your entire career, or do you feel it's sort of going away, like you're able to cope with it better now?
I think I'm getting better each fight when it comes to it. This fight, I kind of played with my mentality a little bit. I was a little freaked out because I was like, I don't understand why I'm so calm. Because normally, yeah, I'm stage fright, and who would have thought I would have chose a sport where I'm the only one out there in the cage and under the center of attention. But it's getting better. Everything's getting better for me. Everything's starting to really fall into place. So it's the best Rocky's yet to come.
Any more questions? All right. Well, we'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and hope to see you next week in Las Vegas for UFC 197.